Matthew. This show gets you actionable insight on all of your stock-related questions. And to that end, if you've got questions for us, you can message us on that WhatsApp number, or you can even call us, as so many of you have done over the last few weeks. It's been absolutely fascinating and fantastic to talk to each one of you that has called. The insights that we get from you are always something that we talk about even in the newsroom. So don't hesitate to pick up the phone and call us on that number. We'd love to speak to you. Let's take a look at where the markets are right now. And after a very torrid, very difficult start to the trading week, there is a little bit of relief on the screen. You have the Nifty 50 trading with gains of about 0.6% or so. There's been a bit of chop and churn, but we've recovered from the low point of the day, and that low point also in the green. So not too much to speak of in terms of the declines, but of course, we're still a ways off from the 200-day moving average for the Nifty 50. That's certainly something to watch on the upside. Let's look at the broader markets as well, just to see how they're faring. And you have the mid-cap index with gains of about 0.8%, certain amount of ground being clawed back. The small cap index also gaining about 0.9% or thereabouts. So broadly, you're seeing some recovery from yesterday's sharp cuts that you saw, the cracks that you saw across the board. In terms of the sectoral performers, you have the Nifty oil and gas that is standing tall in trade, gaining about 2% or so. The energy index is up about 1.3%. Metals as a pack doing reasonably well, up about 1.3% or thereabouts. Pharma is up about 0.8%. I guess to a certain extent, some of the talking points overnight are carrying through in trade for us here in India as well. Globally, of course, equity markets have reacted to a source-based report that suggested that the Trump tariffs that everyone was worried about, maybe the aides of Donald Trump are looking at a diluted version. Of course, Donald Trump coming out on Truth Social and dismissing that report as untrue, but still you have equity markets around the world that have reacted positively to that, and the Indian equity markets are also reacting positively, as I said. Action in the primary market continues, of course, today, and you have a new listing that we should talk about, and that's Indo Farm Equipment. It was a 260 crore IPO. It was significantly oversubscribed. It was a mix of an offer for sale of 75.25 crore rupees and a fresh issue of 184.9 crore. If you missed that issue, and if you're wondering what the company does, it is a fully integrated manufacturer of tractors, pick and carry trains, as well as cranes rather, as well as farm equipment. So essentially a farm equipment company. We are joined by the management, Mr. R.S. Khandwalia, who is joining us, as well as Anshul Khandwalia. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for taking the time. I'll come to you, Mr. R.S. Khandwalia, first. Congratulations on a successful issue. And I'm sure that a lot of your new investors want to know how you're going to be utilizing the fresh issue proceeds.
Yeah, good morning, Alex. Yeah, this new, whatever we are raising this money, the first big money is going in the expansion of our crane capacity. We are putting a new facility in 30 acres of land nearby our existing facility, and the capacity will be increased to 306,000 crane per annum, additional to our existing capacity. So, then further 45 crore will be investing in our NBFC company, which will support us for retail financing support in the tractor business, Baroda Finance, which is a 100% subsidiary of this company. And around 50 odd crore, we will be repaying our short-term loans.
Okay, so that gives me...
And balance is general corporate.
Yeah, that gives me some perspective. Thank you for that. I'm just curious about where you see the biggest leg of growth. Is it in the tractor space, or is it in the crane space where you are increasing capacity? Anshul, maybe you can give me some perspective on that. Because a company like yours in the crane space especially would be, a lot of people would look at it as a barometer to how the industry as a whole is doing, right? So what are the kind of prospects in those two businesses?
Right, sir. So, there's no doubt in saying that our name is Indo Farm. We started as a tractor manufacturing company, but I think we're slowly pivoting and migrating towards a construction equipment company. Sir, with the government's current focus of making India a 10 trillion economy and the focus on infrastructure, we feel that we could see a lot tremendous growth opportunities in the construction equipment sector. Hence, the organization is also setting up a new factory there. So we feel the construction equipment space is where our more focus will be in the coming future, sir.
Just a follow-up to that then, and at this juncture, we're just looking at the latest data from CMIE as well. Anshul, I'm guessing that you may have seen some of the headlines this morning. We're still seeing a little bit of a lull in capex, and we're still seeing a little bit of slowness in spending and expansion of capacity, even though that number as a whole for India is above the average over the last 10 years. It's still lower by as much as 22% in the third quarter. So are you seeing any signs of a pickup in the second half, and what does that mean for your own business?
So definitely, sir, see the first two quarters. So see, I'd like to answer this in two parts. Sir, Indofarm currently operates in a very small part of the country. We only cover about 20%. So moving forward, the remaining 80% of the country is the opportunity for us. So that is one part where, despite however the industry performs, we could see potential growth there to cover the rest of the industry. Also, sir, the first quarter of this year had the elections, and during election times, a lot of projects get held up. But now, I think in the last quarter, definitely there would be an increase in the infrastructure projects.
Mr. Khadwalia, one last question from our end to you, of course. Can you give us a trajectory heading into next year as to where you see top line growth? And of course, your new business, or rather not, I shouldn't say new business, your NBFC is geared towards increasing business in the tractor space. So certainly that is also going to bode well. And the rural space is seeing increasing demand is what we're seeing. So therefore, what is the perspective heading into FY26?
Yeah, there are two things. Once our NBFC is getting funding, that definitely it is going to support the tractor sales in a bigger way, because we are a growing company and we need the retail financing support is very essential for grow this business. Next is the capacity expansion of crane, because we are utilizing our almost 95% capacity. In our existing capacity, we are able to sell. There is no issue. Whatever we produce, we are able to sell in crane. And once the additional capacity is created, that we are expecting by the month of October, it will be start operationals around October. So 6 months we are going to benefit in the next financial year, and that the number increase. So definitely you can imagine the capacity we are creating 3,600. How much some capacity will be able to convert in sale. So it is a good number. And the capacity, the realization value of one crane will be plus 20 lakh rupees each crane. 3,600 crane is a big numbers. Once the capacity is created, and we in the crane also we have got only 20% area across the country. We got enough market for us. Market at this stage is not an issue.
No, certainly, and exciting times for both of you. Congratulations once again from us at NDTV Profit, and we look forward to speaking to you, gentlemen, over the course of the coming quarters, and certainly to get some perspective on the farm sector as a whole, as well as the prospects in the construction space. Thanks so much for taking the time. All right, let's also talk about this with our expert today. We've got Asta Jain joining in, and she looks at IPOs very closely. She's a senior research analyst at Haim Securities, and we've also got Swati Hotkar, AVP Technical Research at Nirmal Bang, joining in. Thank you so much, as always, ladies, for taking the time, and good morning to you. I'll come to you, Asta. Did you have coverage on Indofarm equipment, and was it a subscribe rating? Would you say it's a buy even at this level? What are the prospects?
Hi, good morning to all of you. Yes, we did cover this IPO, and I had a subscribe rating both from the listing gain as well as long-term perspective. Now, talking about this company is into the farm equipment manufacturing, and they have 2 decades of experience. But what is major focus point of this company, that through these IPO proceeds, they will be using it in their NBFC, Baroda Finance. I think that will be helping the company in expanding its dealer network and in turn the tractor sales. So that is a major focus point of the company, and what we believe that this company is well poised to show some more returns from here now. If I talk about the listing is as per expectation. We were expecting the listing anywhere between 25 to 30%, and the stock prices are really quoting at those levels. So those who have not received the allotment, they should not make entry at this point of a time. I think let the stock cool till the level of 250 to 60 and then make an entry into this counter. But those who already got the allotment, who are lucky enough, then they can wait for more upside. Maybe 300 or 305 are those levels where some profit booking is advisable for long-term investment horizon. But in the shorter term, if anyone has just applied for the listing gain, then partial profit booking at the current levels is also advisable, but only partial.
All right, that was the view for the Indo Farm Equipment, the new listing in town. But now with that, let's move to the queries for today. The first query is from Karthik. He's holding about 110 shares of Zomato. This is at a price of 230. Wants to understand whether this is a good time to add more shares to it or not. Now, in this last 1 month, we've seen quite a bit of correction in terms of where Zomato was headed. And in fact, today there was a note also from Jefferies wherein they've downgraded the stock to a hold rating. Swati, let me come to you on this one. Zomato, we've seen quite a run up in 2024, but 2025 it started on a more of a sovereign note. So can you elaborate what's your view on Zomato?
First of all, good morning, all of you. My view on the Zomato is a little bit cautious. In this month, within the span of a 6 to 7 trading session, we have seen a 8% correction in this particular counter. Now, there is a cluster as support levels nearby 230 levels. If it fails to respect that level, then more profit booking can be seen into this particular counter, which might take a stocks towards 200 and so level. Since the client's position is already bought at the 230 levels, I will not suggest to average it out at the current level. If you're getting any dips towards to 220, 200 levels between that trading zone, definitely one can go for a long position. At the current level, I believe the profit booking is likely to be extended and which might take a counter towards to 220, 200 levels. So try to wait and watch policy should be applied. Any corrections can be utilized to take a long position, but not at the current market price.
Okay, so hold off on fresh entries into the counter. The stock is down as much as 4% in trade today, possibly reacting to that note, that downgrade from Jefferies. Shweta is calling us. She's the first caller today. Shweta, good morning. You're calling us from Hyderabad. How can we help you today?
Hi, Alex. Good morning.
Good morning.
My question is, I want to take a fresh entry in IT stocks.
Okay.
I would like to know, is it the correct time to enter in any IT stocks? If yes, then I would like to know one from mid cap and one from large cap, with including the stop loss.
Okay, so because you're mentioning a stop loss, I'm assuming that this is a short-term question. But have you identified what the time frame is that you want to keep on this trade?
My time frame is around 1 year, but as the market is so volatile nowadays, I would like to know the stop loss also.
Okay. So what you're saying is it's actually a fundamental reason why you're buying the IT stock, but you want to keep a stop loss. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
So, Asta, this is the right week to talk about IT, but perhaps you don't have all of the insight that you might want because you're still waiting for the earnings to come through. They, of course, start this week. But heading into that earnings season, what would you watch for and what stocks are on your radar? Of course, she's looking for a mid-cap and a large-cap company.
Yes, so in large cap, we are liking Infosys at this point of time. I think it's a well-placed counter which can grow from here in the stock price momentum. So Infosys is looking good to us because we believe that these segments will be performing very nicely. And in fact, the deal win will go also on the positive side. So in large cap, Infosys can be buy, but I think it is not the current level, maybe some fall. If some fall is there, then it is a better time to enter into this counter at around 1920, 1915 odd levels. Now, talking about mid-cap IT, I think in mid-cap IT, we would like to go with the persistent system. That counter is looking very good to us. Maybe, again, some dips, if some dip come, then it is a counter where one can enter into the stock at around 6,300 or 6,250 odd levels. So these two counters are looking good to us in the IT space.
Then let me go to Swati on the technical. Swati, these two companies that have been mentioned, Infosys and Persistent, what would be the stop losses that you would put if you were to buy today?
For the Infosys, as I said, even I analyst has said ki not to buy at the current juncture the whole-fledged amount. Definitely, if you're getting any dips towards to 1900, one can add on because those are the supports provided by its 50 and 100 TMA moving averages. So I believe up to that levels we might see witness some sort of a correction. So any dips towards to 1900 can be accumulated downside. A stop loss can be kept at around 1830, which are the previous swing supports levels. So by maintaining that stop loss, you can keep your long positions. And we are looking for a target of at least 2050 to 2100 levels in the Infosys. So those are the stop loss and targets for the Infosys. For the persistence, definitely this is not a right time to take a long position at the current market price because on the weekly chart we are witnessing a negative divergence, which gives us some sort of a cautious sign. And also the interesting fact that it has given the breakdown of the 20 days moving average, which is really a cautious sign on the technical front because after such kind of a huge momentum rally from almost 5000 to 6700, we cannot deny the profit bookings at the higher level. So if you're getting any dips towards to 6000 to 5700 level, that will be act as a very good risk reward ratio, will be very comfortable at that range. So buy on dips towards to 6000 level. Downside you can keep a stop loss of 5700 rupees, and for the upside target we can again think about 6500 to 6700 for in this particular stock.
Just want to point out, let's pull up the one-year chart for the Nifty IT index, just give you some perspective. We hit a low towards the end of, or to the start of June, I believe, on the index. And you've actually seen quite the recovery from that point. We've got gains of about 25% to end the year, or very close to that point, if I'm not mistaken. And we've come off the high point, of course, but in that same time, the Nifty 50 has gains of less than 10%. So certainly a sector that has had a resurgence from the low point, and one to watch in this week as well. You'll find all of the live coverage of the earnings right here on NDTV Profit. Just a reminder.
Right. With that, now we have the next caller joining us. This next caller is Viral from Mumbai. Hi Viral, I hope I'm audible to you. Welcome to NDTV Profit.
Hello, good morning. Yes, you are.
Yeah, please state your query.
Okay, so I'm holding 2,000 shares of RIIL, Reliance Industrial Infra. So so my query is regarding this
right.
stock.
So do you want to understand the long-term view for the stock, and if you can also mention as to when was the time that how long have you been holding the stock for?
I actually just bought this on the 2nd of January.
Okay.
So basically I bought.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any rationale behind buying the stock?
Yeah, so this. I basically bought it as a contra bet against Jai Corp. I was actually holding Jai Corp. I sold it all on 31st December. And I just bought a small quantity of this as a contra bet. So just wanted to ask, regarding this.
Yes, I remember this conversation, Viral. We've spoken about Jai Corp, right?
Right.
Why did you sell it on the 31st of December?
I sensed something was not correct.
Okay, you sensed something.
So I sold. Yeah, I sensed it. They had given one NSE notification saying on that day itself.
Yeah.
So that day, the previous week. So I sold everything because I did the calculations and it was completely. This was completely like a very low price of the land. Still, nothing was clear, but I sensed something was not right, and at 340 I sold the entire stake I had.
Okay, I want to just to illustrate the point. We've been speaking about Jai Corp yesterday and today, and also end of last week. Let's pull up the year-to-date chart. I'm talking about 2025. Just over the last few sessions, the kind of erosion that you've seen, and Viral has looked at the stock exchange notification and he has sensed something wrong. I do not have the ability to pull up the conversation that we had with Viral last month. I believe it was last month, right, Viral?
I think it was 2 weeks ago.
It was 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and we'd spoken about Jai Corp, and you'd said that the reason why you invested in Jai Corp was because of the SEZ and the prospects that it has there. And as a result of which you were holding on, but then you saw the notification and you sold. So kudos to you. You've actually avoided a 48% decline or thereabouts, so 40+ decline.
More than that, actually, that, because it's a reverse thing, right? So actually much more than that.
Yeah, certainly. So you want to know about Reliance Infrastructure. Help me understand. So when you say that it's a contra bet, you're looking at holding this for the long term?
I sold about 44,000 shares of Jaicorp, and I bought mostly the chemical sector, and RIIL I just took 2,000 shares just as a contra bet. It's purely a contra bet. Because it's a Reliance Industries is the stakeholder of the company, so it's much safer from that context. Right, because they hold majority of the stake of RIIL.
Yes.
So from a safety point of view, I took a contra bet. So I just wanted to know what does your team think about it?
I got it. It's not my team; it's our experts who are joining us.
Right, correct. Sorry. Yeah.
I must correct that point. But Asta,
True.
Asta, RIIL, any perspective on this one? You've heard the context, of course. What do you have to say about this?
Yes, so it is RIL, and its main work is to just look after, infrastructure activities mainly related to Reliance Industries. Now talking about this counter, fundamentals are not in a very good shape as of now, but really we want to see the results, because in the last quarterly results, what we have seen, there was no major capex which was announced by the management, first of all. Secondly, company is still posting losses, and in fact, their valuations are also on the very higher side. So, I mean, these 2-3 factors are such factors which are not letting the stock to move on the upwards. Although I really appreciate the way investor Mr. Viral has just sensed the things ahead of a time, and he was vigilant enough to keep a track on whatever activities or information going on in the company. But I think it's better to wait for some time, let the results come in, and I think then only we can decide, because right now the fundamentals are not looking very good, although I mean, whatever reason behind the buying this stock is just a contra call. But I think for this call also, one really need to see how the results pan out to be. So my idea here is to stay invested in the counter, and I really need not to tell Mr. Viral to look after the result, because he himself is so much vigilant. So definitely he will take care of that. But I think after results only we can say something about fundamentals, because right now issue is company is highly priced, stock prices are highly priced, as well as the losses are there, which was posted by the company in the last quarter, so that not signaling towards strong fundamentals.
That's a fair point. And all right, so hopefully that answers the question. Let's move on to another caller. We've got Shailaja from Hyderabad who's calling us. Shailaja, good morning, and thanks so much for calling us. How can we help you?
Yeah, I got IPO listing of Carraro India. So right from then, the price is going down. The listing price is 704, and now the price is around 638.
Right.
So I want to know, can I hold for some more time to get minimal profits, or else if the price goes down, just I want to know whether to hold or sell, because it's going down right from the listing day.
Yes, okay, that's a fair point. When you subscribed to the IPO though, what was the thinking? Did you buy it for listing gains, or did you like the company?
Actually, I have listed for 2 to 3 companies. It's one of them, but I did not get the others. I got listed of the Carraro.
Unlucky, Shailaja, unlucky, I must say that. Because if you had gotten the issue for today as well, you would have gotten 30%. All right, but let me take your question to Asta on the fundamentals. Asta, I mean, it works like this, right? If you throw darts in the dark, sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't. And Carraro India is unfortunately not hit. So would you hold though? What are the prospects on the fundamentals?
So basically, this company is a Pune-based company, and basically they are a solution provider to OEMs. But what was the problem with the issue at that time also, because I have not subscribed it. So, I'm not given the subscribe rating because the valuations were quite high. We were not liking the valuation at which they were bringing the IPO. It was at around 40 price to earning multiple, which we found to be very, very stretched. And in fact, that is why we have seen even this IPO has not performed. And at that time, there were 8 to 10 IPOs that were opening within the span of 2-3 days. So we have not given this IPO at all a subscribe rating. So idea here is this IPO, now the stock stock. So this stock has potential to move more from lower side from here, because I think it can move till the level of 650 or 600 odd levels. So it's better to wait for a longer term, because I think when the results are around the corner, then I never advise to just exit from the counter. Maybe you can fetch some more losses, but at that time the conviction will be more high that yes, even the results are not supporting. So I think it's better to wait for the results to come in and then make exit into the counter, and be ready that this counter can show more downside from here. This is my fundamental calculation is, and we are expecting this stock to fall to the level of 600 first of all. So let's wait for some more time, keep the patience in, and after the results, just review your query again.
Got it. All right. We have to slip into a very quick break, so do stay with us, ladies. I do want to point out, you're probably used to seeing the number on the bottom of your screen. There is a number here. No, there. There's a number here and a number there. So you can call the number up there if you want to speak to us. Do stay tuned. Lots more coming up on the other side.
On my face. Chalo, chalo, chalo.
How do you define a disruptor?
The idea was, why should we charge differently? We should probably charge the same.
What's the idea to change things around?
People would be scared to put 50,000 rupees with us, right? But today, we have customers who put 500 crores with us.
What was your biggest challenge?
Did not have enough money in the bank to even meet the payroll.
What are the lessons that you've learned from the mistakes that you saw being made?
Didn't want to dilute their stake and therefore, ran out of cash.
Think you know what success looks like? Think again. Meet the disruptors, those who dare, dream and defy.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What's the picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know Your Company, powered by NDTV Profits Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers. Know Your Company at 11:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, only on NDTV Profit.
We set you up for the day's trade. 30 calls before the markets open on NDTV Profit.
Jubilant Food above a 600 level on Friday.
Wipro can be first trade to buy
all commodities, but in that Vedanta looks good.
Our experts give you the top stock ideas to prepare you for the day.
ICICI Lombard stocks hit the first target. It has given a very good momentum with good volume.
Don't miss the chance to make the right moves. Only on NDTV Profit, where winners are made before the bell rings. Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
On my face. Chalo, chalo, chalo.
How do you define a disruptor?
The idea was, why should we charge differently? We should probably charge the same.
What's the idea to change things around?
People would be scared to put 50,000 rupees with us, right? But today, we have customers who put 500 crores with us.
What was your biggest challenge?
Did not have enough money in the bank to even meet the payroll.
What are the lessons that you've learned from the mistakes that you saw being made?
Didn't want to dilute their stake and therefore, ran out of cash.
Think you know what success looks like? Think again. Meet the disruptors, those who dare, dream and defy.
Hi, thanks so much for tuning in and welcome back if you were tuning in before the break. This is Ask Profit, of course. This is where we get all of your questions on stocks answered. The first question we're taking on this side is from Faniraj. He's writing in on WhatsApp and he's bought Suzlon Energy at a price of 60.5. The stock is currently trading very close to that mark. So he's looking for the prospects of long-term gains in the stock and he's wondering whether to hold on. Asta, on the fundamentals, would you suggest a hold?
Yes, suggest a hold with a price target of 68 to 70 because we can expect a strong CAGR growth in the top line in the coming quarters.
Okay. No, but also give us a sense of the prospects in the next year. Do you have a target on the stock? And are valuations more comfortable now than they were perhaps 3 months, 4 months back?
So valuations are, still on the higher side, but we are expecting, on the basis of the order wins, the top line to be bulky in the coming quarters. So I think that will settle the valuation. But overall, we are positive on this counter with a price target of 68 to 70 at the initial levels.
All right. Chetan from Bangalore has got the next question. He's got Yes Bank that he's bought at a price of 31 rupees. So it's an elevated price that he's bought it at. The stock is currently trading at 19. He's got a long-term view on the stock. He's wondering what to do. Let me get you a technical view on this one. Swati, I'll come to you on this one. Swati, what should he do about this? Should he buy at this current price?
2024 was not a good year for this particular stock. We have seen a sharp correction from almost 30 to 19 levels. I believe the immediate support is will be at around 70 to 18 levels, which doesn't respect that level. More sell-off is likely to be continued and which might take a counters close to 15 and 14 levels. So up to that level, we might witness some sort of a selling pressure. So I will not suggest to average it out at the current level. Let the stock find out a support nearby 14 to 15 levels on the downside. Then we can think about some sort of a reversal if any technical sign shows at that point of time. But at the current level, my view is cautious to bearish in this particular stock. Try to avoid buying up at the current market price. Upside can be seen only if the stock manages to keep the breakout of 22 levels on the closing basis. A consistent closing, at least for 2 to 3 trading sessions only, will see some sort of a revival in this particular counter, and which may take a stocks towards to 26 to 28 levels. So as of now, the view is cautious and not to add the long positions at the current market price. Wait for the more correction on the downside, and if the stocks find out a support nearby 15 to 16 levels, you can again review this particular counter, and then accordingly we can take a call.
All right. Senco Gold is the next counter that we're talking about, and Arun Kumar from Ghaziabad in Uttar Pradesh has got this question. He's bought at levels of 1,427. He's not provided us with a time frame that he wants to know about. It's just a hold or exit. He's in a loss right now. The stock is currently trading at 1,157 below his buy price. Asa, on the fundamentals, would you hold on? Would you double down on your investment? What's the prospect?
So prospects are looking okay right now. So my idea here is to stay invested or a hold rather than making more buying in this counter. Now talking about this counter, growth outlook was good, but they missed the margins in the quarter 2 of FY25, and that's why I think that can be the result that it has not shown that much of a strong performance as other counterparts. But going ahead, I think this stock again will grow in a stronger way on the revenue part, and hence idea here is to stay invested in the counter.
All right, stay invested in Senco Gold. It's had a reasonable 12 months. You've just been unlucky on the downside, having bought at slightly elevated levels. Naveen from Visakhapatnam is calling us. Hi Naveen, thanks so much for calling. You've got Info Edge and you've bought it at a very good price. Can you tell me what you were thinking when you bought it?
Hi Alex, very good morning.
Good morning. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so I bought on 4400 level. So it is in my core portfolio, like I was averaging it out. Like the main reason is two things. One is the core business Naukri, and the second thing, the investment that they were doing in the startup ecosystem, whether it can be Zomato or it can be PVB Fintech recently, which got it listed and gave good returns. So I'm betting on these two things, like the startup ecosystem where I was betting on more things. So that's the reason I'm holding it as of now. I'm currently sitting at around 100% returns. I just want to understand whether I can hold it more than 5 years or not.
Okay. Naveen, and please, you don't have to answer this, but I'm just curious. You decided to buy 5 shares in, when did you buy this?
So I bought it around 5500 level, and then I was averaging it out. Like the least share I was bought around 3500 or something. So the average price in 4400, I can say.
So, but I'm curious, Naveen, why didn't you buy more at that time?
So, okay, I was doing SAP of 10,000 every month in my core portfolio.
Yes.
So I can't buy Info Edge every time, right?
Right.
Let's say I am buying multiple shares. So there is a link. there is a method I'm following. Like I don't want to keep more than 10% weightage to anything. And I remember I asked for LIC also 2 days back. Even Zomato also I have around 8% of portfolio, and it is giving around 180% returns currently.
Excellent.
So in that way.
Excellent. I'm so glad that you're following this method. And how old are you, Naveen?
I'm 29.
Excellent, and I wish you all the success. Let me get you a view on the fundamentals. Asta, very good way that he's using to accumulate shares over the long term. He's keeping prudent limits on the per stock exposure, but he's bought at a very attractive price of 4,400 rupees per share. What are the prospects? Hold or sell is a question.
I would recommend to hold this counter because in fact the Q3 update was also looking decent to us, in which we have seen that the billings have grown in not only in the recruitment segment, even in the 99 acres and other segments also, the billing has grown. So I think if Q3 updates are attractive, then definitely my results can also be on the positive side. So there is no harm in continuing with the counter. I recommend to hold this counter. Initial price target can be set at around 9,000 rupees.
All right, so further upside of 500 rupees or thereabouts on the stock. So hopefully that answers your question. We've got a question on PCBL, Philips Carbon Black. And this is a question coming in from Hardik, who's writing in from Mysuru in Karnataka. The question's for you, Swati, on the technicals. He's bought at levels of 455. He's got 1,000 shares. And so he's incurring a small loss at this point. The stock is currently trading at 450. What are the prospects on the upside? The stock is buzzing in trade, up about 4% right now.
So overall view on the technical front is definitely positive. As of now, the stock is under the little bit profit bookings pressure, but we believe that up to 420 levels, we might see some sort of a correction. And from that level onwards, we will get to see some bounce back rally. On a higher side, 470 is acting as a crucial resistance level provided by its 20 days moving average. If it surpasses that level on the closing basis, definitely we can see the extension of this upside rally towards at least 520 to 530 levels. So the overall setup on the technical front is really positive. One can hold on the long positions. If possible, if you want to keep any kind of a stop losses in such kind of a volatile markets, 420 is acting as a crucial support level, so that can be kept as a stop loss. And for immediate target will be a 520 to 550 levels on the higher side.
Okay, all right. So that's the view on PCBL. Pradeep Kumar is calling us from Kerala. Pradeep, morning. Where in Kerala are you calling from, and what would you want to talk about?
Good morning. I'm from actually capital Trivandrum.
Okay. Go ahead, please.
I would like to know about Sula, the winery. I bought like 1 month back, but I thought in the festival season coming, so a lot of people going to drink, so I'm going to be rich more. but
Pradeep, that's a good thinking. But do you think that people drink more wine than other things?
I mean, yeah, I believe, of course, it's the festival season, so the people should, most of the people are. And another thing I know about the winery, this one is a 60% of, they are covering in India 60%, and they're second Asian largest winery or something like that. So I'm so comfortable with the people.
Okay. So, but you're planning to hold for the long term, right, Pradeep?
I don't really mind to keep long. If I have a particular profit, I will took that one. So that's always I do that. I'm not a very good trader. I'm not taking 100% seriously like that.
Okay, so fair point. So would you say that you're comfortable holding more than a year then, Pradeep?
Yeah, maybe I can add more if, a suggestion from the people. I can add more or...
No, but I'm saying, would you be comfortable with holding your investment for at least a year?
I think 6 months fine.
6 months is fine. Okay, so you don't have too much patience. You say you're not a trader, but you're certainly not a long-term investor either, Pradeep. Let me go across to Swati on the charts then, because Swati, the buy price is 433. He's not got as much patience as I would hope he had. But would you say that 6 months holding is a good idea?
Let's say looking towards the chart pattern, definitely he can hold on for at least for 6 months. Why I'm saying that if we draw the extension, the theory on the technical front, the stock has already corrected more than 78 to 80%, whatever the rally we have seen from the year 2022 from 350 to 700 odd levels. Now the sharp correction has been already witnessed. We might witness some sort of a reversal. A time correction is going on. It will take a little bit time. We might see some consolidation phase, and then afterwards we can see some upside momentum on the northern side. As of now, 390 is acting as a crucial support level, which was the previous resistance level which we have faced in 2023. So as long as the 390 levels are hold, we can expect some bounce back rally, which might take a counter towards to 455 to at least 500 levels. So I will suggest to hold on your long positions. To 390 can act your stop loss, and you can exit your long positions or book the profits at around 500 levels. So definitely you can hold on this particular counter.
Okay, as is the case for most good things, you should do it responsibly, and that goes for drinking as well, investing no doubt as well. Let's talk about Satyan's question, and Satyan's got a question on Skipper, which he's wondering whether to invest in at this current juncture for the long term. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get a technical view on this. Fundamentally, what's the view? Technically, do we have a view, Swati? It's up about 100%, 117%. Would you buy this point?
Alex, frankly speaking, I will not take a long positions. Why I'm saying that because in the last 2 months, the counter has just given the formation of the head and shoulder pattern. And it's on the verge of giving the breakdown of that neckline. Whenever such kind of a pattern forms at a higher level, and if we witness a breakdown of that neckline, we are likely to see the more selling pressure on the profit bookings. So 510 is the immediate support level. If it's break that level, then we might witness a sharp correction of at least 100 points down the line, which might take a counter towards to 400 to 450 levels. Up to that level we can witness a correction. So fresh long positions are not recommended in this particular counter at the current market price. If you're getting any dips towards to 440, 450, at that point of time we can think about fresh longs, but not at the current market price.
All right, so we've got a next caller. Srinivas Reddy is calling us from Hyderabad. Srinivas, good morning to you, and how can we help you today?
Yes, sir. I got the shares of Dr. Reddy's of 500 units at the rate of 1373.
Okay.
So should I hold it for a long time? Because I am a long-time investor.
Okay.
How long that I can hold it for?
Okay. When did you buy this?
I got it for about 5 days back.
5 days back. Okay. And when you bought it, did you look at the fundamentals? Did you look at the prospects in the pharmaceutical space? And out of the various options, you chose Dr. Reddy's after looking at the company?
Yes, sir. Which I looked about the fundamentals. It was strong, consistent. It was improving.
Okay. So on the basis of that. And when you say long term, do you mean more than a year at least?
Yeah, more than a year, which I wanted to keep for about a year.
Okay, for about a year. Okay. Asta, on the fundamentals, is Dr. Reddy's Laboratories the best pick in the pharma space? And if you bought at levels of 1,373, do you hold on? Do you add more?
Yes, I would recommend to hold on this counter, and it is among one of the best pick in the pharmaceutical space. Now, talking about the fundamentals of this counter, fundamentals are looking to be attractive because company has a strong plan of 20 new launches in the coming year, and 50% of them they will be, launching in the complex category. So I think definitely it will help the company in showing very strong performance going ahead. We are positive on this counter. Recommending a hold as well as buy on dip strategy can also be applied at the level of 1320, 1310 odd levels with the price target of 1550 to 1570.
Okay, I believe our next caller has also got a question on the pharmaceutical space, and Hari from Chennai is calling us. Hari, I believe you bought Natco Pharma. What was the thinking?
Hi, Alex.
Hi.
Good morning. This is
Good
Hari
morning.
here.
Good morning.
Alex, as say, I bought this Natco Pharma. I hold currently
60 shares.
60 or at around prices around 1,480.
Yes.
So normally what I will do is I used to buy on dip. So I won't buy everything in a single lot. I started accumulating from 1,300 and even I bought around 1,590. I saw the fundamentals are it's really good. Plus apart from the generic drugs, they are also into the specialty drug as well. So I thought this is a good counter with fundamentals is also very good. So I just want to know, I am planning to hold it for next 2 to 3 years kind of.
Okay.
Now my question is whether I can start accumulating in these dips or what is the strategy around I need to play on this pharma bet? Yeah.
Okay, so just incidentally, I hope you heard the previous conversation about Dr. Reddy's laboratories as well.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah, so I'm going to combine this with that. You spoke about, Asta, you spoke about Dr. Reddy's laboratories. Tell us about Natco Pharma as well. Slightly elevated levels, 1,480.6. Would you use these dips to add more? What are the prospects for Natco?
So I would recommend to hold rather than add more with a price target of 1,600 to 1,650 at the current juncture. I know I'm giving big targets, but I think in the longer run, this stock can show that type of potential. Now, talking about the fundamentals of this counter, first of all, they have a partnership with the Mylan, we all know. And now some litigations were there, which the company has already settled. That is Mylan I'm talking about. Secondly, they are banking on some 6 to 7 niche product, which they will be launching. In fact, I think that products will definitely fill the gap which G Revlimid, their main product, has formed. So I think over the next few quarters, the company's fundamentals looking to be decent, and they will show some strong launches on the back of that. Maybe financial performance get improvement from present point of time. So stay invested in this counter with a price target of 1,600 to 1,650, but be vigilant about the results because results tell the whole story.
Yeah, a considerable upside. This seems to be the best pick then, based on the upside that you've given. Asta, is that right?
Yes, but it is these are little risk for risk averse investor. So for risky investors, Natco Pharma has a good, very good, potential for upside momentum. Just see the risk appetite and then make entry. Yeah.
As is usually the case, unless it is an undiscovered stock, if you've got the gumption is when you can possibly reap the rewards of taking a contrarian bet in certain cases, right? Not necessarily what I'm saying is related to Natco Pharma, of course. We've got a caller. We'll come to them in just a bit. Let's go to a WhatsApp question for a bit. Mishtan Food is the name of the counter that we're taking, and I am not certain of who is sending. Okay, Raghavendra Kulkarni. I'm guessing from Maharashtra, is asking this question. He says that he has some shares. I do not know what level he's bought at. The stock is currently trading. It's a penny stock. Any advice, Asta, that you can give in this case?
Sorry, I don't track this counter in a detail, and it's only 6 rupees or 7 rupees stock.
Yeah.
So we don't cover such tiny stock.
I do not blame you. So Swati, on the technicals, any advice that you can give?
Even I don't track this particular counter, but looking towards the chart structure, we already have seen a very sharp correction in this particular counter from 22 now 7. Now it is trading nearby the all-time low at around more than 6 levels. I will suggest if you're getting any upticks towards to 9 to 10 levels, you should definitely exit the long position from this particular one. I don't see much more future in this particular stock.
Okay. All right. We've got a caller, Ajita Nair, who's calling us from Pune. Ajita, hi. Thanks so much for calling. How can we help you today?
Hi, good morning there. Good morning to all the panelists also and the lady there.
Yes.
My name is Ajita Nair. I'm calling from Pune.
Yes.
My question was on Sagility India.
Okay.
It's a recently listed company.
Yes.
And I've been following it. I think it got listed somewhere around 30 odd rupees. And then it fell down to 20. I was hoping to buy, but as usual, the hope that it would fall further, I didn't buy.
Yes.
Now, from there on, it's gone up to 53.
Yes.
I am looking to buy that stock with a view of a year or two. My question is, can the panelists tell me whether it's a good buy? Should I buy it?
Yeah, okay, that's a fair question. That is usually the case. If you wait too long, sometimes the opportunity is missed. Ajita, you're not alone. There are a lot of people that face this. Let's pull up the intraday chart on Sagility, please, if we can, just to give, I want to make sure that, yes, so it is at upper circuit. There are no sellers in the stock right now. So even if Ajita wants to go and buy, she's not going to be able to do so today. Asta, on the fundamentals, what are the reasons why the stock is up and about so much? And would you suggest entering when you can?
So I think now this company's business model is little different from the others one because they cater to the US health industry, and when this IPO came, it was at 30 rupees, at the higher end of the price band. And I have given the subscribe rating. Even I was believing some, listing gains also to be there. But on that day, it showed very volatile movement, and afterward 2-3 days continuous fall, and then it took a one-sided upward rally. So now at 53 rupees, this IPO is priced at a price to earning multiple of 70. So I think at price to earning multiple of 70, it becomes little expensive. So my idea here is please wait for some more time. Either let the results come in or let the stock fall till the level of 48 or 49 odd level and then make entry into this counter, because at this point of a time, I think from the risk reward perspective, it can be a risky counter just on the basis of valuation, because from 30 to 53, a big upside momentum we have already seen in this stock.
That's a fair point. All right, it's time to hit the rapid fire segment. Asta, Swati, you know what that means. I'm going to toss as many questions as possible at you over the next 2 minutes, and hopefully you can answer quite a few of them. The first one that we'll take is from Jeet, who's writing from Kolkata. CDSL is the name of the counter. CDSL. Swati, this one's for you. 50 shares, bought at a level of 1607. He's in the green, so would you hold for the next 2 years?
Yes, for the next year, definitely it's a hold particular counter. Upside, I'm looking for a target of 2000. One can hold on by maintaining a strict stop loss of 1640 levels for a target of 2000.
Okay. JSW Energy, Balaji wants to know, he's bought at levels of 655 and he's got 100 shares. So he's losing a little bit of ground. Swati, 3 to 6 months he can hold. Would you hold or book a loss?
Yeah, at the current level, the stock is trading in oversold zone. Over a period of time, we might witness some sort of a bounce back rally. Downside, it has a good support at around 580. So by keeping that stop loss, you can hold on the long position. Upside, it can be seen up to 650 to 680 level. At that level, you can definitely exit your longs.
Okay. Vishaka wants to know one stock that you would recommend for the long term right now. Asta, tough question.
So I would like to go with L&T.
Larsen and Toubro is a buy. Techno Funda check. One is possible. Funda check on SKF India. Sunil G from Vadodara wants to know. He's bought at levels of 456. He's been holding for 15 years. Wow. Would you hold on? Asta?
Yes, I think one can hold this counter, SKF India, but price target can be set at around 4800 at the current point of time.
Okay, Dinesh from Gurgaon wants to know about IOC. He's holding 1700 shares, which he's bought at levels of 161. Should he buy more, hold or sell? On the technicals, what's the view? Swati?
Alex, not to buy at the current market price. If the stock see more correction up to 110 levels, they can definitely average it out, but not at the current market price. Upside rally can be seen up to 160 to 170 levels. So it's a hold from my end.
Okay. ITC, I believe, bought pre-demerger at 480 levels. Somnath Roy is asking, should you hold or sell? Asta, what's the view?
Undoubtedly hold.
Undoubtedly hold. All right, on that note, Asta, Swati, thanks so much for taking the time. Pleasure speaking with you as always, and thank you so much for answering all the questions you did today. That brings us to the end of this edition of Ask Profit. I'm sure that we've not been able to answer all of your questions. It's impossible to do so, but we will be back tomorrow to take more of them, and hopefully the questions we did answer over the course of the last 1 hour have been beneficial to you. Do stay tuned, lots more coming up over the course of the day, and this is NDTV Profit.
On my face. Chalo, chalo, chalo.
How do you define a disruptor?
The idea was, why should we charge differently? We should probably charge the same.
Was the idea to change things around?
People would be scared to put 50,000 rupees with us, right? But today, we have customers who put 500 crores with us.
What was your biggest challenge?
Did not have enough money in the bank to even meet the payroll.
What are the lessons that you've learned from the mistakes that you saw being made?
Didn't want to dilute their stake and therefore, ran out of cash.
Think you know what success looks like? Think again. Meet the disruptors, those who dare, dream and defy.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What's the picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know your company, powered by NDTV Profit's research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers. Know your company at 11:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, only on NDTV Profit.
We set you up for the day's trade. 30 calls before the markets open on NDTV Profit.
Jubilant Food above a 600 level on Friday.
Wipro can be first trade to buy
all commodities, but in that Vedanta looks good.
Our experts give you the top stock ideas to prepare you for the day.
ICICI Lombard stocks hit the first target. It has given a very good momentum with good volume.
Don't miss the chance to make the right moves. Only on NDTV Profit, where winners are made before the bell rings. Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
On my face. Chalo, chalo, chalo.
How do you define a disruptor?
The idea was, why should we charge differently? We should probably charge the same.
Was the idea to change things around?
People would be scared to put 50,000 rupees with us, right? But today, we have customers who put 500 crores with us.
What was your biggest challenge?
Did not have enough money in the bank to even meet the payroll.
What are the lessons that you've learned from the mistakes that you saw being made?
Didn't want to dilute their stake and therefore, ran out of cash.
Think you know what success looks like? Think again. Meet the disruptors, those who dare, dream and defy.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What's the picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know your company, powered by NDTV Profits Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers. Know your company at 11:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, only on NDTV Profit.
We set you up for the day's trade. 30 calls before the markets open on NDTV Profit.
Jubilant Food above a 600 level on Friday.
Wipro can be first trade to buy
all commodities, but in that Vedanta looks good.
Our experts give you the top stock ideas to prepare you for the day.
ICICI Lombard stocks hit the first target. It has given a very good momentum with good volume.
Don't miss the chance to make the right moves. Only on NDTV Profit, where winners are made before the bell rings. Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to...
Hello and welcome to KYC. Today our focus is on Rainbow Children's Medicare Limited. It's a hospital chain which deals with child care, childbirth and the like. In simplest of terms, established in 1999 in South India. Let's pull up some data with regard to the company. It was started as a small clinic and thereafter has forayed and has grown extremely sharply. In terms of the locations, etc., we'll come to, but let's first focus in on what it actually does. It operates a multi-speciality pediatric, obstetrics and gynecology hospital chain. The hospital chain focuses on all of the following care in terms of large